One, having Erasmus as a striker changed the way we play a lot. If you look at first leg and the second leg, because we didn't have a reference point, because Ulipasa was playing, but it was very frustrating. Hotzo was very frustrating. Saileng tried, and Paris missed a lot of chances in the first leg. It seemed that at some point sooner or later we're going to get punished. But that game ended 0-0, and you're thinking the punishment is going to come in the second leg. Lo and behold, 3-0 up, and we go all the way through. The performance was, I was happy because Sundowns midfield, Abeko, for whatever reason. Ndlondlo, in the first couple of minutes, he was finding his passes. Just good to mind you, we weren't able to capitalize very early on.
The pass to Hotto.
Hotto, his first touch was poor. Like, we need better people up front. And
because you looked at it and it's like, you can't do that with that. Not with that filth that just came your way. You need to do better. I don't know, muster up whatever it is but you need to do better.
The words of our friend Umexposi.
It really was.
It was like, okay, here's everything. Let's see what
you going to do.
So, I mean, he's ambitious. He's always looking for the forward ball, always looking to execute a very good final pass, looking for Hollywood passes, and he executed, I think, 2. Or hot, as we said, his control was bad there. Modibo Lele, it's an exaggeration, but hey, up I can say that was bodied. And I like the fact that Saileng had that composure. After the minus Sumont, the pass was pinpoint.
It was right foot.
Oftentimes I'm on rush. I just put it into the box because it seems funny, like someone kick it. It was pinpoint. The 3 Sundowns defenders were caught ball watching. Erasmus goes in front of Umdao, heads in, and we're up and running. The course of the game, Sundowns controlled most of the ball, had most of the possession, but didn't really do much to hurt us. We really felt that we were in control for most of the game, which is a good feeling against Sundowns, because Sundowns are a strong team. At some point, you are going to concede. At some point, you're going to crumble under the pressure. That's how the league has gone. That's how the seasons have gone, like, for many years, They wear people down. Eventually, you're going to concede. Eventually, you're going to score. But not in this game, because Pirates were well set up. Sundowns weren't really in the midfield battle. So, for me, very happy with the result, man.
So when that first goal went in that early, I kind of knew that's it.
Really?
I kind of did, because Chuck...
Is it the personnel or just the feeling at the time?
Because of both teams. On the side of Sundowns, because there have been struggles with regards to scoring, with Shalulile being out, which I'll come back to. And then on the side of Pirates have struggled in front of goal, but they've also tended to keep teams out. So when they have the goal, which is the thing that they've been struggling with, the thing that they do well is they are able to keep to shut a team out.
True.
So in that particular game, right, coming from that first leg, which we were watching live, some of the differences that you saw is in the first leg you had Saileng playing with Ulipasa. Lepaso is one of the many strikers that Orlando Pirates have and who they've interchanged to try find solution to the goal scoring woes. And you saw Erasmus coming in the second half, and he had that shot from distance, and he looked as if he was troubling Sundowns. But then it was still to be seen in terms of, is he going to improve that goal scoring situation? Is he going to hold down that striker position? Because it's crying out for someone to take it by the neck and take ownership of it. Yep. And in that second leg, you have then the partnership of Erasmus and Saileng, which is something we saw in the previous game against Golden Arrows, where you had Erasmus take an amazing touch. We talk about Hotto and his touch. If that was Erasmus, he probably brings that down.
Definitely. And
he gives the assist to Saileng. And immediately in that game, following Pirates still struggling in front of goal after that first leg, is this maybe the partnership that the Pirates faithful have been crying out for? We'll find out. In the second leg against Sundowns, we found out. People effed around and we found out. Because now Saileng is no longer on the left where they were operating in the first leg. Now he's on the right. And now what we were bemoaning is, why are you receiving the ball and you're turning back to give it back to your midfielders or to your defenders? Why are you not advancing forward? The vertical game at Pirates with Saileng is just transformed now, because he's either running past his defender, where you can then find him with the through ball, or if he has the ball at his feet, which is what we saw against Monnapule, he's taking on his defender, which was the other thing, Chuck, that we were talking about in terms of that left-hand side of the Sundowns defense, where Duruk was manning that hole, which is vacated by Umudib.
Yep.
Duruk wants to go to the ground. Every single time he's matched up against someone, he wants to go to the ground. And if you just shifted past him, you gone, you know? And that was an adjustment that I loved seeing from Orlando Pirates, that, okay, our most dangerous player right now, our most skillful player right now, and a player who's feeling himself all the confidence in the world, put him on that left-hand side of the Sundowns defense, and it paid off early. On the side of Sundowns, my disappointment was I didn't know what the coaches were trying to do, because Shalulile is out injured, right? And the question is, well, if you don't have him, how do you plan on scoring goals? How do you plan on breaking down this particular defense, which this team is very strong in their defense? That back three stay together the entire match. They are not adventurous if they don't have to be. They are just manning that defense. They are keeping shots away from their goalkeeper. And if you don't have any dynamism in front of them that is happening, it's going to be a long day for your team. And there was no dynamism from Sundowns, because you saw it a little bit when Mutupa comes on in the second half. Then you have a center back who's keying in on him, that if he drops deep, then maybe he pulls one of the center backs with him. Now you've got space to do a little something. But that wasn't happening in the first half. And one of my questions was, if you've sold Erasmus, if you've sold the other striker that Sundowns had, what's your plan? Safranco. What is your plan if Shalulile is injured? Are you just planning that he's going to be healthy the entire season? That didn't make any sense. You know, so I was disappointed to see that there was no response. You know, and there was a response from the Sundowns management, where there's a reshuffling of the coaching. But with regards to that game, Parish played the perfect game against Sundowns. They scored early and they set back to hit them in the transition. They were great in transition late. When Saileng again found himself in those positions, he put men down once again and he finished, you know. And that was well played, and that was well earned, in my opinion, from Orlando Pirates.